Please begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Chrisman?
Here.
Mr. Fedorcha?
Here.
Ms. Brantz?
Here.
Ms. Husak? Here. Ms. Koch?
Here.
Ms. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Van Norman?
Here.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Green?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Call your attention to the civility and decorum section at the beginning of the agenda. Ask everyone to please stick by that. I would like to remind members of the public, if you want to comment on an agenda item, please sign in. There is a paper outside. If it's not here, there's another one out there. But you really technically, for policy, should sign that paper before you have conversation at the meeting. Speaking of that, are any members of the public who would like to comment at this time?
I have Mrs. Frank would like to comment.
Can I go later? Or do you want me to go now?
You're going to wait?
Can I go after the climate and culture?
Where-
After the superintendent's report?
Where are you at?
Item J and
APCE. Which one? Oh, after the superintendent's report. Oh, okay, I was looking for another day. Sure. Remind me when I forget, because I will, so. Anyone else? Okay. If not, you've all received copies of the meeting held on October 13th. Motion to approve? So moved. Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, thank you. Any questions, additions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? And so ordered. Start special board reports. Ms. Husak.
Thank you. We did have our Carbon Lehigh Intermediate Unit October meeting. Couple things. We did approve the new Director of Special Programs, Mrs. Dr. Kathy Nelson. So she was part of the CLIU's administrative team prior. She is now the director, so welcoming her and good luck to her in her new role. The other item, come November and December, we continue the holiday basket raffle and the fundraiser for the Special Needs Children's Foundation. You can go on their website, which is the CLSNF.org for the Children's Foundation, and purchase tickets online if you wish. There's pictures of some of the baskets. The drawing will be held December 15th, prior to our board meeting. And this year, the 14 districts in the IU did a board basket. It's called the Yellow Brick Road. So it's all things from our district, one place along our Yellow Brick Road. I had donated from Sam's Pizza this year, so thank you to Sam's for all the donations that they have done to the district, so hopefully a little bit comes back their way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Husak. Mr. Fedorcha.
Thank you. Yes. In December, on December 10th at 6:15 will be our reorganization meeting. At that time, we will be electing a new chair and vice chair. We also are having our open house November 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. I encourage everyone to attend. It's a great school, a great place, and I'm sure you'd enjoy touring it. Along with that, I have a special note to make, and even Mr. Green does not know this yet, I don't think, maybe he does, is that on Thursday, I was asked to join our executive director from LCTI, Lisa Granawalt, and David Heim, to go to the community college to present a friend of LCTI, which is the Buffalo Award. It goes to an outstanding person in the community who has really shown a lot of help and interest and support to LCTI, and it was given to Dr. Ann Bieber. So I'm very happy to be part of that. Ann and I have worked together as colleagues. We've been there, I probably know Ann longer than most people who are working with her right now. But she's definitely deserved that recognition and award, and so I'm very happy about that. And very happy that I could attend, as asked to attend. Thank you. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, sir. Didn't someone else at this table get some kind of award recently that you participated in? Did I miss that, or am I confused, or didn't that happen yet?
No,
Maybe I
no.
should just shut up, maybe it didn't happen.
No, the only other two people got that award was Bob Noggle, who was our first director, received the first one, and then Jim Hansen, who donated much money to the school. Also, he is also responsible for the Meals on, or not Meals on Wheels, the museum.
Okay.
So no, that's all I know, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Snyder, anything to see?
I have something. I just wanted to mention, there was a new bill that was signed into law. It's called the Weapons Notifications. This legislation will require schools to notify all parents and employees when a student, parent, educator, or another individual is found in possession of a weapon on school grounds. This would include drop-off, pickup, school-sponsored activity, and transportation without any exceptions. PSBA worked with the prime sponsor, Senate and House Education Committee staff to mitigate the impact on schools and mandates contained within the bill as proposed. This bill was signed into law on November 6th. Oh, and also today marks 128 days without a state budget.
Thank you. So I don't have to mention the budget again, but speaking of budget, we are looking for a new director of finance, i.e. business manager at community college. We're going to be conducting interviews shortly. We also had a very interesting presentation on ESL, English as a Second Language, and they talked about all the different things that they're doing and the development that's happening, and they had some results on how people are coming through that, and it appears to be a pretty successful program. So we were all kind of proud of that. So those are the things that we talked about. Committee reports. You all have copies of the committee reports and meetings there. This is it. Ta-da! The students.
Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to see everyone again. So we've been really busy at the high school. We have a lot going on, so I'll get right into what we have to say. So our competitive cheer team competed in the Colonial League competition at Wilson on the 29th of October. They placed 6th at the competition. Congratulations to the team for their hard work. The competition team also performed an exhibition routine at the NLYAA Spirit Jam held this past weekend at Northern Lehigh High School. I will be representing Northern Lehigh cheering at the Varsity Spirit Spectacular on November 22nd in Orlando, Florida.
Whoa. You need an escort.
Schools will be closed on November 17th for our in-service day, and then our Thanksgiving break will be the 27th through the 21st. In academics, math and English classes finished up taking their second IXL benchmark for the first semester. CFES scholars and students interested in attending college visits will be taking a trip to Villanova on Tuesday, November 25th. The applications for the LCTI program, Emerging Health, are currently open. If any students have questions or would like to apply, you should schedule a meeting with your guidance counselor to talk about it. And also with LCTI, they will be holding their open house for interested students on November 20th at 6 p.m. And then looking forward into December, because we will not be here for this, breakfast with Santa will be on December 7th, and it will be from 8 to 11 in Peters Elementary. And that's all I have for tonight. I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving break. And now for Maddie with more sports and activities.
Hello, board. So to start, last Wednesday on November 5th, Fall Awards Night took place, which represented fall sports and athletes. At Awards Night, Emma Heil, a senior cross-country runner, was recognized for placing 11th in districts and going to states where she placed 101st. Winter sports will also be starting this Friday, November 14th, and it will include competitive winter cheer, boys and girls basketball, and girls and boys wrestling. Powder Puff is tomorrow, November 11th, at Northern Lehigh Stadium from 3:30 to approximately 6 o'clock. The field opens at 3, and there's a $2 donation that is asked from all spectators. The snack stand will also be open. Come out and support the girls' annual football game. Marching band has concluded their season on the 1st of November at Dallastown High School. They placed third in their championship competition. The fall play is One Stop Like Town, which is going to be running next Friday through Sunday. The 21st and 22nd will be at 7 p.m. and the 23rd will be at 2 a.m. And lastly, unfortunately, our Northern Lehigh football team was taken out of playoffs by Schuylkill Haven last Saturday, but they did end the season with a winning record of 8-4. Thank you.
Any questions, ladies? Anything?
Thank you.
And ladies, you can excuse yourself. You're more than welcome to stay, but you can excuse yourself.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Where are we at? I think we're on solicitor's report, correct? Anything tonight?
I do have something for you this evening. So as you know, many school districts in the area and across the state passed resolutions last month to withhold payments to charter schools due to the budget impasse. So there's already been litigation on that. The Penn Hills Charter School of Entrepreneurship filed a lawsuit against the Penn Hills School District seeking a preliminary injunction asking the Commonwealth Court to order the school district to pay them approximately $800,000 worth of tuition that was due and owing. There was oral argument held last Wednesday on November 4th before the Commonwealth Court. As you can imagine, the charter school argued that they face immediate irreparable harm and they need the injunction due to the non-payment. They may need to close. And the school district argued that, hey, we have the ability to manage and expend our funds. We chose not to pay the funds to the charter school under these circumstances, and the sole remedy is to seek a subsidy redirection through that process that's established currently. Well, the decision came down from the Commonwealth Court today actually, as a matter of fact, and they granted the injunction against the charter school, against the school district. So the school district is now required to immediately pay almost $800,000 worth of tuition payments to the charter school. And they must also provide ongoing monthly funding, negotiated in good faith until the budget impasse ceases to exist. So in this particular situation, the court really looked at the financial solvency of the charter school, but I anticipate most charter schools are going to make that argument, so it may impact other schools and other districts. So just be on the lookout for that.
Are you anticipating an appeal of that decision?
I anticipate an appeal, yes, but that's my crystal ball. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, I thought maybe you heard
Yeah.
something through the grapevine.
Yeah, just came down today, so, but I do anticipate there would be an appeal for that. Keep you posted.
Any
So,
questions
just-
on that? Donna?
Surprising.
I don't understand how anybody can expect somebody to pay when the other people are not receiving the money to pay them with. I mean, can we sue the state?
That, they did sue.
They did already.
They
yeah.
they did sue
I'm
the
talking about
states.
the district.
In addition to the school district, PDE was also sued. So,
I mean, it's ludicrous, really.
So because the school district has money, they decided to make the school district pay. Are they saying the charter district did not have enough funds to pay?
correct.
Okay.
They basically were going to shut down if they didn't get the funding from the school district. That was their argument.
That specific charter. Okay.
That specific charter. So if there are other charters that might be okay financially, this argument may not work against them. But they have nothing to lose by filing these complaints
Right.
because the filing and the drafting of the complaint is significantly less than like $800,000 worth of tuition, right? So that's why I anticipate more are going to come down the pike. So that's my report. Any other questions?
No, we're good. Thank
Anything
you.
else on
They
that?
should
Anyone?
save some of their advertising money to pay.
Thank you, attorney. Where are we at? Assistant superintendent. She's not here.
She's not able to attend this evening.
Are you have anything for her or?
Will be covered under the superintendent.
Okay. Thank you very much. Ms. Malzahn, anything for us this evening?
Thank you. Just that the auditors were here last October 30th, 31st, and November 3rd, and I hope to have their journal entries sometime this week. So I was in contact with them today, and they should have them to me by the end of the week. So it should put me on target to have my AFR done by the end of November. So that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Dr. Link, Superintendent's report.
Okay, thank you. We'll wait until Mr. Hawes is able to load it on the screen here. Okay, good evening, everyone. Tonight's presentation will focus on school safety, social emotional learning, and school climate. We will review key data across these areas to provide comprehensive overview of student well-being and measures in place to support a safe and positive learning environment. And first, we're going to take a little bit of a look at our demographics in the school district. So enrollment, if you can advance to the next slide, Mr. Haas. Thank you. So there's our enrollment broken down by the schools from 23-24 up through the current school year. Enrollment across the district has remained relatively stable over the past 3 school years, with a total of 1,602 students as of October 1st in the 2025-2026, compared to 1,617 in 2024 and 1,583 in 23-24, and that comes from our PIM submission every October 1st. Peters Elementary saw a slight decline in enrollment this year as one of the what we would call a bubble class, a larger class, advanced to Slatington Elementary. Slatington and the high school remain consistent, while the middle school has shown a gradual increase. Overall, student distribution across all schools has stayed well balanced, with only minor shifts from year to year. So you can kind of see 1,583 to 1,617 to 1,602 over the last 2 years for the start of this school year. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to share a little bit about the demographics of our student body. So on this slide here, the numbers that I'm going to share are going to kind of start at the top and then go clockwise around each category. So on this slide, you can see the demographic composition of the students in our school district over the past 3 school years. The legend for the chart goes clockwise around the pie. So for 25-26, you will see 0.12% American Indian or Alaskan Native, 0.12 Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, 0.74 Asian, 2.36 Black African or African American and African American, 3.41% for multiracial, 21.04 for Hispanic, and 72.19% for white Caucasian. Over the past 3 years, our district has experienced gradual demographic shifts. The percentage of white students has decreased by 2.34%, while the percentage of Hispanic students has increased 2.83%. The representation of all other groups has remained relatively stable. These changes align with the broader demographic trends within the community. Next slide, please. Okay, so now we're going to look at enrollment by the different student groups that we support here in the school district. So the groups will be, you can kind of see them listed down the left column there, and again, the same multi-year look back with the October 1st data in the column on the far right. Data is based on last year's actuals and this year's most current data, some from the PA Future Ready Index or internal PIMS reports. This year's data helps us predict trends, but we won't know the actuals until they're published after this school year ends. So our economically disadvantaged students increased in direct certifications, about 1% increase since last year in economically disadvantaged. Our ELLs, or our English language learners, are multi-language learners. At a time of the report was 60 across the district. Our gifted or gifted students that receive gifted services, there's about 20 students across the district identified as gifted. We have 5 in foster care currently. Homeless fluctuates throughout the year, but right now our numbers are very low for homeless, about 0.12%. That will ebb and flow throughout the entire school year. Our military connected families, so children in the district whose parents are guardians, are serving in the military, And these students also are recognized as a group of students that often need additional support because oftentimes they're moving quite frequently, even sometimes multiple times throughout a school year, depending where their parents are stationed. Our career and technical center students, so these are our students that attend LCTI. We have 133 students currently. Last year, about 129. The previous year was about 152. This is 8% of our total enrollment in the district and over a quarter of our high school population. So we have a good number of our students in Northern Lehigh High School take advantage of the programs and opportunities through LCTI. You just heard Olivia announce tonight that they're opening up the applications for the Emerging Health Occupation Program, which is one of the great programs that they offer there. And then our breakdown for male and female students, it's always just about like this, usually within 1% of each other, about an even split at this time, 51% male and 49% female. Okay, next we're going to focus on the Renaissance Fundamentals, which is formerly known as the PASS assessment. So here, the Renaissance Fundamentals screener, formerly known as PASS, is administered to all students K-12 twice per school year, once in the fall, October and November, and once in the spring, kind of around March, April, May. It is administered electronically and takes about 15 minutes for the students to take it. The 9 factors listed on the left are the areas in which students self-rate. K-2 only does the first 4 of those, though. Administrators, teachers, school counselors, and other groups like the data, SST teams, and the SAP teams examine the results for the district, school, and cohorts and individuals to determine programs and services and potential interventions for students that need them. So I'm going to turn it over now to Mr. Krajic, and each one of our building administrators is going to talk about the data for the 4 schools. Mr. Krajic?
Thank you, Dr. Lang.
Sure.
Good evening. I'm filling in for Mr. Snyderite tonight. This fall, we administered the Renaissance Fundamentals Survey to all K-2 students at Peters Elementary. The K-2 version is developmentally adapted with prompts, visuals, and simplified language so that even our youngest learners can tell us how they're feeling about school. The survey measured 4 key areas: their feelings about school, preparedness for learning, learner self-worth, and response to learning. The results this fall were again very strong. The students in K-2 reported high feelings about school and preparedness for learning, around 97%, showing that they feel safe, supported, and ready to engage. Learner self-worth, which reflects confidence and perseverance, remained high, near 90% for all grades. The greatest variation appears in response to learning, which gauges how appropriately challenged students feel. Kindergarten and first grade were around 77%, while second grade was around 86%, showing that as students mature, they're more engaged and comfortable with the academic challenges that they face. Compared to last year's beginning of the year data, the results are a meaningful improvement. So the feeling about school rose in both first and second grade, and learner self-worth increased in kindergarten, as well as preparedness for learning remained consistently high across all grade levels. Overall, the data reflects a very positive, stable school climate where students are feeling connected, confident, and motivated to learn. The school counselor and I, Ms. Legestri, have started going through the individual students so that we can really identify those 3 to 5% of students who are not feeling comfortable, so that we can start to address that. A lot of them, still early in the school year, that we can make gains as we progress through the year. Does the board have any questions? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Briner.
Thank you, Mr. Karchek, and good evening, everyone. It's good to see everyone this evening. I'm going to be talking about the data from the screener for Slatington Elementary School. Due to the developmental ages of the students at Slatington Elementary School being 3 through 6, there's actually 2 versions at Slatington that are given. So there's one version that is given to students in grades 3, 4, and 5, and then there's another version that is gauged more so to the older students that is given for 6. So I'm going to be going over 2 slides. This particular slide is talking directly about students in grades 3, 4, and 5. As Mr. Krychek shared and Dr. Link shared a little bit earlier, if you look at the bottom part of that graph, looking at all the different categories, students at Slatington are assessed or surveyed on the 9 different factors. And at Slatington, we had in grades 3, 4, and 5, we had 339 students take the screener, and all of those categories fell into the green, which is very good feedback. But once you dig a little bit deeper and go into some of the subcategories, there are some categories that did show in the yellow, orange, or red for certain subgroups. So 2 of the subgroups, specifically Asian and American Indian, they have very low numbers of students that are in those subgroups. However, they have some factors that fell into the red or yellow. So we're going to be working with those students individually to address those concerns. One of the subgroups, the subgroup of any other mixed background, fell into the yellow category in three categories, and this subgroup has 18 total students in it in grades 3, 4, and 5. The categories that were yellow for this subgroup were feelings about school, perceived learning capabilities, and confidence in learning. So our school teams are looking into this further and examining the responses of their students in that subgroup, and we'll be addressing those concerns once we have a plan in place. Next slide, please. This slide shows the exact same information, but specifically for students in grade 6 and grade 6 only. All categories for students in grade 6, all the factors fell into the green, so additionally, very good feedback in terms of where we're at for 6th grade. In comparison to last year for 6th grade, we saw increases in factors 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that was a very positive thing to see. But when you dig a little bit deeper into the subgroups for 6th grade, we saw some yellow categories, specifically in 2 areas, feelings about school and attitudes to attendance, specifically in our subgroup for Black and African American students. Now, the population in that subgroup in 6th grade is low, and we will be addressing those specific concerns with those students specifically because of the number of students in the subgroup. So, but that is all of the data for Slatington Elementary School. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I'll turn it over to Mr. Williams for the middle school.
How come 6th grade always has separate data? Is that because the state thinks it should be middle school instead of elementary? Did I say that?
Thank you.
So 6th grade often falls developmentally in the middle school or the middle-aged students with secondary students. So some would say in certain assessments that that's how they're assessed. So you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Briner. I appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to see everybody here. I'm here to report on our data for the middle school. In the middle school, 234 students took the screener. As you can see in both of our grades, we are in the green, which means that our students are reflecting a high satisfaction with their school experience in each of those 9 factors. When we take a look at it, we wanted to take a look at what our overall strengths were and then areas of concern and then some of the subgroups that popped out. When we look at it, our overall strengths were our feelings about school, our preparedness for learning, our attitudes towards our teachers, and our general work ethic. And we saw consistent satisfaction across grades and gender for satisfaction with schools, our attitudes towards our teachers, and preparedness for learning. However, when we dug a little bit deeper and we took a look at some of the categories specifically for each grade level in some of our subgroups, Self-regard as a learner was one of our lower areas, and that was notably lower for our 7th grade boys, and that was kind of a common theme that popped out to us. 7th grade students saw a drop-off in, while they were in the green, they did see a drop-off in their response across the 9 factors. Confidence in learning was one of our lower categories, and response to curriculum demands was also one of our lower categories, and as was attitudes towards attendance. And again, that popped up again specifically in grade 7, and it was specific with our grade 7 boys. So taking a look at that data, some of the things that we're going to be doing is we're going to continue to utilize this data and analyze it during our data days. But we have a goal team period at the middle school, and what we're trying to do is take data like this and target some of those groups of students by setting goals based around some of these factors so that we can work with them to take a look at why they have some of those feelings for attendance at school or some of those feelings in their confidence. And we have it set up that we have it by grade level, so we can specifically target different grades in different ways based on these responses. So we're looking forward to doing that and work with those students and then hopefully seeing an improvement in our next round of taking the survey. Any questions for me on any of our data at the middle school? Then I will turn it over to Dr. Bali with the data from the high school.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Good evening, everyone. Good to see you as always. All right, so we have 2 slides as well, and I want to spend, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, but I want to spend most of the time on the second slide. But we had close to 400 students who took the survey this year. This is our data from the administration that we just gave in 2025. Let's move to our second slide, Mr. Haas, if you don't mind, to show growth. And what I want to show you is the slide on the left is 2023 data. This is prior to the launch of Lunch and Learn. And then I want to show you the data that we just got this year just a few weeks ago. So no matter how you look at the data, whether you look at, and I know it's difficult to see, which is a little bit of a bummer, but you know, whether you look at 9th grade from 2 years ago to our 9th grade students now, 10th to 10th, 11th to 11th, 12th to 12th, or if you look at cohort data. So 2 years ago, those 9th graders are now 11th graders. 2 years ago, those 10th graders are now 12th graders. You see we are all in green. That's great. That's wonderful. Pretty significant for a high school to be all green. However, we have significantly improved in almost every single area. So just so I could read to you a couple things. Feelings about school. Grade 9, 2 years ago, 66%. Grade 9, today, 74%. Grade 9 in perceived learning capability, 71%. Now, 76%. We had some of our lower areas. Let me go down to the grade percentile. Feelings about school. At that time, if you look in grade 9, 35th percentile. Today, 65th percentile. Perceived learning capability for 9th grade, 41% 2 years ago. Now, 61 percentile. Grade 9, self-regard as a learner. Self-regard as a learner, 48th percentile. Now, 77th percentile. So when you really look at, you know, and you break this data apart, let's look at grade 9 2 years ago. Feelings about school, 35th percentile. Now those kids are 11th graders. Their feelings about school now, 48th percentile. So huge, huge gains in these 9 factors, which we're really, really proud of. And honestly, we hadn't even had the data ready for our staff. They haven't seen this yet. We have a faculty meeting on Wednesday, and they need to see this because we've made such growth in school culture, climate. I want to be at school. You know, we are going to see achievement grow because we're seeing this kind of data as far as our kids. So I encourage you to look deeper at this because when I did, it just kind of reinforced that what we're doing is working. So We do have a couple areas of improvement. You know, if you look at the cohorts from 10th to 12th grade, and these were the only areas we dropped in. Self-regard as a learner, we were down slightly from when they were 12th graders to who they are now. And that could be solely because of curriculum demands in 12th grade. We've got AP courses, we've got dual enrollment courses, we've got college courses. So one would think that their feelings about response to curricular demands and self-regard as a learner, it's getting harder. You know, a lot of these kids are taking these tougher classes, tougher courses. So, you know, many of us, when we looked at this data, says this makes sense to us. So, you know, surveys can be analyzed at both the micro and the macro levels. They not only provide insight into the overall climate of the school, but also help us identify the individual needs of each student. And I think one of the principals did mention, this data, we can drill down to the student level. So if we see any data, you know, per kid that is a red, that's a concern. So we go there and we look and we start to identify what we can do as a team to address that. So actionable interventions, what have we done? And you heard me say at our last meeting, okay, the data's great, now what are we gonna do about it? How do we execute our plan? So the last year, we started a student leadership forum. Student leaders provide valuable insight and strategies to target areas of need within the school in regards to climate and academics. For example, student mentorship has become a valuable tool. A female, let me give you an example. A female student wrestler was paired with a new student that just came into our building 2 weeks ago. She worked with her during lunch and learn to better acclimate her to school routines and procedures. This is a student that came from in an urban setting at a very large school of about 3,500 kids. So coming to a school of 500 is significant for that child. So she helped her to better acclimate to school routines and procedures, assisted her in completion of specific assignments, and fostered her interest in wrestling. So now she is going to be joining our wrestling team. Another example is one of our student leaders who is bilingual in Spanish, and she is on deck to provide support to some of our MLL students who may be struggling with acclimating as well, and providing overall academic and social supports. We have created a hub, which is a classroom situated in the middle of the school that has almost become a student center of sorts. Many of our student leadership meetings occur here. Student support is provided during lunch and learn in this room. Opportunities to provide mentorship to strengthen the feelings of belonging and success, etc. So, you know, a lot of great things are happening. It's awesome to see green, but when you really look at those numbers and see scores jumping 10th, you know, 10, 20, 30%, especially at a high school level, it's significant. So I want to thank you for your support, and do you have any questions for us?
I just want to say thank you for providing last year's and this year's to really see the comparison. It really looks really nice to see that growth.
Thank you. And like I said, I'm so excited to show the staff because they haven't seen this yet. And you know, the work is hard. So when you see the results, you know, that come from the voices of the kids, yeah, it makes you feel good. So thanks.
I would thank you for the two-year comparison also. I know I've asked for that before.
Yes.
And that puts things in perspective for me. Are we going this way, what's happening? And I don't know why you picked 2 years, but I'm glad at least you had a comparison there. And,
Yeah.
and I think that's good. I like that.
I picked 2 years for two reasons. One, when we got here in 2023, we hadn't started Lunch and Learn yet. So that was kind of like the starting point, and then we started Lunch and Learn last year. Also, 2 years will show you the jump from 9th graders to 11th graders and 10th to 12th, so that the kids that are still here that were there 2 years ago, which is pretty significant, but that's a great question.
Thank you. Any questions for any of the administrators on any of the data?
I have a few more slides.
I just think Lunch and Learn has been a success and is a positive for the district.
Next slide, Mr. Hawes. Now we're going to talk a little bit about our Northern Lehigh Police Department data. Next slide, please. So here again, you'll see the previous 2 years in the start of this school year, and broken down by incidents and then what year those incidents occurred. Over the past 3 years, total incidents handled by the school police department have decreased from 108 in 23-24 to 98 last year, currently at 24 within the current school year. The most notable reductions have been in tobacco-related offenses and truancy. and which historically represent the largest categories. Incidents involving drugs and weapons have also declined. These improvements reflect not only proactive efforts within our schools, but also strong collaboration with community partners such as Knowlton Diagnostic and Treatment Centers, the Center for Humanistic Change, the local magistrate, and the Impact Program, whose support continues to strengthen prevention and intervention efforts for our students. Next is the data on our Safe to Say Something tips, again for the same number of years. Over the past 3 years, total reports have declined from 40 in 23-24 to 20 in 24-25, with 11 reported to date in 25-26. 20 reported in 25-26. While bullying and harassment remains areas of continued focus, the overall number of reports related to student safety and well-being has decreased. Reports connected to substance use, self-harm, and other serious incidents have also declined. The district continues to emphasize proactive measures to support positive school climate and student connectedness. Now, for this one, please remember that these categories come to us from the Attorney General's, the Attorney General's office. These are not district-selected categories. These categories are predetermined by how the tips come into the Attorney General's office and then funnel down to the school district. I know, Chief Jones, anything to add on those two slides?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about our bus patrol data. So for the current school year, in the beginning of November, we're up to 56 citations already. To date this year, our district has issued 55 citations for stop arm violations through the bus patrol program, compared to 32 citations at the same time last year. However, please note that last year the program was not active until the second week in October. This year it was active day one. We are not finding repeat offenders, which suggests that the program is effectively changing driver behavior. Following the last Safe Schools meeting, the Slatington Police Department also committed to an increased presence at certain bus stops where we know that these violations within the borough of Slatington are likely to occur. These combined efforts reflect the district's ongoing collaboration with law enforcement and community partners to ensure safe transportation for all students. And that is all we have on this evening's data presentation, and we're open for questions or comments.
Dr. Blank, I was just curious with your numbers, when you talked about special ed, approximately 20%, did that include 504 students or no?
That is just students that qualify under IDEA.
Okay.
So the federal law that protects children with disabilities, it is not the law for students that have a major, an impediment towards a major life function that may not qualify as a disability under IDEA, as he checks with Mrs. Dada to make sure I described that accurately. Thank you. So it does not, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Very thorough report, very good.
Okay.
Real quick.
Yep.
So the traffic violations, of the ones that we did last year, how many were actually recovered full in payment as far as fines go?
To my knowledge, I'll check with Chief Jones, that nearly all of them, I believe.
Good.
Is that accurate as far as?
I'd have to check the data on that. I don't have it specifically offhand right now. So I know a number of requested hearings. I don't know what the status is of where they were granted or not, or the outcomes of those. But I think we mentioned the end of last year, they were still waiting on approximately 33 or so hearings to take place for those violations.
And the first offense is how much for the fine again?
$300.
300?
Yep.
Is there a second offense?
It's the same, only because it doesn't, with the bus patrol program, it doesn't attach to a driver. It's not, it attaches to the vehicle owner. So it's a little bit different as far as how the penalties are assessed.
That's good. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, it's bad that there's that many violations, but it's good that we're starting to crack down on some of these guys that are driving like knuckleheads around kids.
And if it is changing driver behaviors for those that have been cited, that's absolutely a good thing if they're not repeat offenders.
Yeah.
So.
I think you'd agree, Chad, it proves we're moving in the right direction. It was money well spent to get that stuff, those cameras installed.
100%.
And I know we hesitated on that, but I think it was a move in the right direction, so, yeah, thank you.
Well, I would like to acknowledge then and thank Christ Transportation because they were a key player in bringing that program to the school district. Okay, next, I would like to acknowledge that last week was the School Psychologist Appreciation Week, and we would like to recognize and thank Mr. Marks and Mr. Snyder for the outstanding work they do each day. Their expertise, compassion, and commitment play a vital role in supporting the academic, social, and emotional needs of our students. We're truly grateful for their dedication and the positive impact they have across our schools. Additionally, we would like to recognize that tomorrow is Veterans Day. We extend our heartfelt appreciation to all veterans in our community. We're grateful for their service, sacrifice, and steadfast commitment to protecting our freedoms. And a special note of appreciation to Mr. Chrisman, who is a Marine Corps veteran. So thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
Yep. I would next like to share some really great news. We focused the last couple of years on rebuilding our music program at the elementary, middle, and high school level. Every year we see more of that pay off for our students and really the school district as a whole. I'm excited to share that two of our students at the middle level, Julia Juarez and Cassie Freed, have been selected to participate in this year's Pennsylvania Music Education Association District 10 Intermediate Band Festival at Easton Area Middle School. They were chosen from 47 other schools. So 47 schools, we have two of our students were selected from that large candidate pool. That's incredible. The concert will be held on Friday, January 30th at 7 p.m. with a snow date of February 2nd or 3rd. However, it doesn't stop there. I'm equally as excited to add that two of our students at Slatington Elementary School, Emma Faust and Gabriel Vazdias, were selected to participate in this year's District 10 Pennsylvania Music Education Association Elementary Band Festival at Nazareth Area High School. This concert will be at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, March 11th, with snow dates on March 12th and the 13th. So kudos to those four students. That is a significant accomplishment, especially at such a young age from elementary and middle school. Kudos to our music department as well. Some reminders. Actually, scratch that. We're going to come back to that in a second. Mr. Green, you had mentioned about another award that you were thinking about. I think what you may be thinking about is not related to the community college, but actually last week, our assistant superintendent, Dr. Stoker, received the Roseanne Smith Alperin Award from the Junior League from her community. This award recognizes a woman whose leadership, compassion, and ability to inspire others positively impact her community. So she does a lot of community service near where she lives, and she was recognized by the Junior League of Scranton for her philanthropy in that community. Now some reminders. The school board and administrator holiday dinner is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. in Slatington Elementary School. Also on December 2nd, 2025 is a school board reorganization meeting at 6:45 p.m. in this room, and the regular board meeting at 7 p.m. also in this room. There are no December committee meetings. And that concludes my report to the board, sir.
Thank you. Any questions for Dr. Link? No, I would remind the board that the holiday dinner, current board members are invited, including those who may be leaving us, and also new board members will receive an invitation, so we'll get to know the new guys coming in. So you'll all be invited to that dinner. No committee, I'll get to the other one later on, yeah, so. Any other questions on that?
We do
Mr.
have
Green,
a
your
public
public
comment.
I wasn't leaving.
Okay, so I guess I'm glad that there's a camera, but also there's a camera. So this was meant to kind of hit everybody in the community, not just necessarily board members. But we have to be careful that we aren't losing the plot. We should be worried about what our kids are actually learning or what they're choosing to disengage with. Some of them can sing every word of a 7-minute Italian brain rap viral video, but not remember their multiplication tables or what a noun is. We've confused measurement with meaning, mistaking efficiency with purpose, valuing what's easiest to measure instead of what actually matters. Our entire school community should focus on helping to build these kids up for their future and prioritize what has real meaning for learning. When education prioritizes performance over purpose, it becomes a circus where teachers and students perform for outcomes instead of understandings, and that, my friends, is an accountability trap. We need to find a way forward where we don't just obsess over numbers and graphs, but actually look at the quality of our Tier 1 instruction. Education is not about control, it's about connection. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Frank. And that is the only community member that signed up to speak this evening.
Okay, I thank you much. So I think we're done with item J. There was an executive session at 6 p.m. We discussed some legal issues, some of which were disappointing, but nevertheless, we discussed them, and we'll just go from there. All right, moving to personnel. Looking for a motion to approve personnel items A through, where does it go to, G? H, I'm sorry, H. Motion to approve those items. I think I heard one down there. Chad, thank you. Is there a second? Second?
Over here.
Natalie, yeah. Any discussion or questions on those items? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. And so ordered.
Mr. Green, if I may, and we'll do a deeper acknowledgement a little bit later in the spring, but I would like to acknowledge that we are this spring losing one of our, somebody that deeply cares for all of our students and our faculty, and that's our high school nurse, Mrs. Melissa Missy DeSocio. She is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to caring for our children, actually, and for all of our employees. And, I'm sad to see her go, but I'm very happy for her moving on to retirement, and we'll do a more traditional recognition of her in the spring.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Okay, policy, you have a whole bunch of items there. What, 6 of them? Is there a motion to approve the policy items, please?
Second.
Motion and second. Questions on the policy? I think they were all reviewed at the policy committee meeting, so if there are no questions, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. And so ordered. We have 3 conferences. Is there a motion to approve the conferences?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. 2 items under curriculum and instruction. We need a motion for that.
So, second.
What was it? Who was it? Gary and Chad or Donna? Donna, okay,
Donna.
thank you. Any, I'm sorry, do we have it straight? Gary and?
Donna.
Gary and Donna, okay. Sorry about that. Where was I? Any questions on the curriculum?
I'd just like to make a comment. I think it's great that we keep reaching out to different higher educations for our teacher prep program, that they get an experience at Northern Lehigh. Hopefully that will make them consider Northern Lehigh as they choose a career. And the fact that we get to use the dietetic internship program from Cedar Crest College, I was familiar with that, and it's a really great, strong program, and I know it helps our food service out a lot. So they benefit, but we do also. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. Have no old business, anyone? Old business, anywhere? No? New business, we have item A. Once again, urging the state to approve the budget. Is there a motion to approve that item, please?
Motion. Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. Under financial, we're going from A, I think, to K. Motion to approve the financial items, please.
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Gary, thank you. Questions on the financial items? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no? And so ordered. Under legal, approve the expulsion of student as listed 269074. Is there a motion to approve the expulsion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Obviously, we can't have any discussion, so all is in favor of the expulsion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. A couple information items.
Yep, correspondent?
Correspondence?
Oh, I'm sorry, correspondence, yeah.
There's
thank
none.
you. We have none.
None.
I knew that. Not really. Recognition of guests, anyone want to say anything? No? Did I see a hand?
Could someone speak to the progress of fixing the heat at Peters? I saw the parts are approved, we talked about that committee meeting, but what is the progress on that?
They will be on site Wednesday.
Wednesday? Parents been contacted about lack of heat so they could, because
There is heat at Peters.
Oh, there is heat?
Yes.
Okay.
It's my understanding, and I don't know if I should address this if Mr. Mann is here, but they had to do some of the stuff manually, so they had to have somebody kind of standing there doing things that normally would have been done automatically, but there was heat in the building and it was working. Whether it was quite as natural and normal as it is normally, that I can't answer, but there was heat there, so.
Absolutely, Mr. Green.
Is that about right? You want to comment, please?
Yeah, so normally we would have everything under control by computers. Now we have a maintenance guy going out throughout the day, manually opening and closing valves to get heat to the building. Yeah, so it's not as perfect, I guess, as you would say, as like at your house where you turn on at a certain temp and turn off. We go out throughout the day and make sure that the building's comfortable.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, a couple of announcements. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Chad.
Just before we adjourn, I just wanted to add on Dr. Link. Not only is tomorrow Veterans Day, but today is Marine Corps birthday.
Birthday.
right.
So,
250.
It is.
250. So happy birthday to fellow Marines. too.
Yes. Thank you. I did hear that on the news driving in this morning, so thank you for pointing that out as well.
Happy birthday to you. No, we're not.
I don't look a day over 200, huh?
Great shape.
As we discussed earlier, I would like at this point for the current members of the board to do Dr. Link's mid-year evaluation. It will be up to the new person after reorganization to decide exactly what they want to do with that. But I would hope the current board members, and I know we're leaving several, possibly losing several, if they would do that, since they are the ones who have been here. So you'll probably be getting that in the next couple days from administration. And last, and I don't even know how to answer this because I can't get answers from other people. And essentially, as you know, there was an election held, was it last week? We had four-year seats. There were 4 people on the ballot. They were all elected to a 4-year term. We also had a 2-year seat. No one applied for that, so there was no one on the ballot for that. As a result of that, it will be a write-in scenario. You don't need 100 votes or even 10 votes. The highest vote getter wins that seat. Here's the difficulty. I have personally called voter registration several times. I know Dr. Link has called them. They keep telling me they'll get back to me. I called them again this morning. I said, look, we have a meeting tonight. It would really be nice, but they did not get back to me, so I don't know what the results of that are. I would just like to publicly announce, and if I go overboard, solicitor, smack me here, that there is a possibility that whoever wins that seat may or may not decide to accept the position. If they do not, it's my understanding that the second place person doesn't automatically get that position. It then becomes an empty seat, and it will be up to the board to appoint someone to fill that seat. I'm not an attorney here, so tell me if I'm going wrong. So what I would like to announce at this point is there is a possibility that we will be appointing someone at the December meeting, a possibility. If we get more information from them, and it's obviously up to the person to decide, we can't force that person to accept or reject a position, but there may be an opening. And I wanted everybody to know that. I wanted to put that out there. Hopefully people will pick up on that. Again, it may be nothing. I don't know. I just want to make people aware of it. So if you're interested, anyone else you know is interested, be prepared to respond. If it is the case, and we do appoint personally, and I think other board members would like to see someone appointed at the December meeting. I don't want to go through the advertise for 30 days and then, we didn't have 30 days before the next meeting. We have to wait till February. I'd like to get that person in, get their feet on the ground and get them moving. So, was that okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, got through that. Are there any other business items to be attended to? Anyone this evening? No? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. We're done here. Go Eagles. We got 15 minutes to get home. Let's go.